Hi guys, let's see. I'm gonna obviously wait a few more minutes to see who joins, and then I will get started. If I'm talking to no one, so be it. I felt called to share these messages. I don't think anyone is in the room yet. Yep. Let's see. But yeah, basically, even then, if no one joins, I'm going to literally just go through every sign and basically let you guys know what you need to hear for the month of October, what themes you may be dealing with. I was channeling right before I set up. I was channeling the devil is in the details, and I was thinking about Libra season and how Libra season is an air sign, or Libra season is an air sign, Libra is an air sign, and how air signs do tend to focus on details, and how Libra, being ruled by Venus, is very much about order and harmony, obviously. And so it makes me think of needing to, sort through details in your life or get clear about certain details in your life in order to create more structure, more order. So that's what I want to focus on. In regards to this card pull, I'm going to use a few different decks. I have 4 in front of me that I was called to based on that theme. So when I was hearing the devil's in the details, I was called to use these 4 decks. Also, because these 4 decks have a lot of detail in them, like in the pictures, there's context. Maybe I'll be able to channel certain people you guys are going to be dealing with, or other third party energies or external energies that could be affecting you this month. So that's definitely something I want to focus on. Let's see here. Anything else? It's officially 8:30. I'm going to give people a couple more minutes to join. I kind of knew that doing this spontaneously may not be successful. That maybe I would have a few people poke in. It's also Saturday. So I'm like, are people even up this early on a Saturday? I kind of did imagine it could be something where, say, it's a morning where people are getting ready or whatever. Maybe you'd want to listen to this while you're starting your day. But on a Saturday, I'm not so sure. So this is an experiment for me. Some of you may have noticed I've been, trying to post more often on social media, and yeah, I'm just trying to experiment with other ways of posting and seeing how you guys respond to that. So I'll give it one more minute and then I'm going to start pulling for Aries. And you can apply this. I'm obviously talking like I have a full audience because I plan to post the video that you guys can check it out afterwards. I really hope that me having it turned to the side isn't going to be an issue. I feel like it might be because like everything is shifted, so maybe I should do this just because I don't want to in retrospect look back and be like, shit, I can't post it. So I'm just gonna do this just so I can make sure you guys can see me and don't have to break your necks. It's 3:33 on the time when I say that, so I'm gonna get started. I just feel like these messages need to get out. Maybe it's something I need to hear. But Spirit definitely, I was sitting there, I couldn't sleep. And it's 8:30 a.m. now, but I wasn't able to sleep all night. So Spirit was like, just, channel these messages. I have some things to say anyway. So here I am. What deck should we start with for Aries? This is going to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and South Node. But for Aries, let's start with the Tea Leaf Oracle. And that's going to give us some context as to maybe timelines or, like I said, those other energies that you could be affected by. So Aries, this is going to be for October. What do you need to be mindful of for the month of October? You got casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So don't always take these cards so literally. This doesn't have to mean like actual death and that you're going to be going to a funeral. It could be, though. For some of you, this may be information you already are aware of, and so this could be a grieving period of your life, but it could also be figurative in the sense that certain things of your life are ending, and so you're being called to release them and kind of accept that this chapter is closing, which makes a lot of sense. We just had eclipse season, so that is definitely happening. And then we have the full moon in Aries on October 6th, or October 6th. Yes, October 6th. So let's see here. Just a couple days from the full moon in Aries, we obviously deal with themes of release and closure with the full moon. So, basket, recognition, reward for merit. So this is a positive card. It also makes me think of abundance and having the resources you need, or being granted the resources you need. It could be um, an exchange of resources as well. For some reason, basket makes me think of you going and like gathering resources, or product store or something, you know. It makes me think of a farmer's market where you're also then like not bartering, but you know, just like working with and exchanging with like local vendors and things like that. So I see that this could actually be in the way that I'm hearing consumption. So the way that you maybe consume things, or the things that you're purchasing, how you're spending your money at this time. It could even be like with that, when I think of investments, I think of, say that you invest in stock or something like that. I could see something like that paying off, or it could just be how much you've been showing up for something or someone in your life that is being recognized, and so you're going to be getting, whether it's financial reward or some kind of support from, you know, it's almost like they're returning the favor, or um, showing their gratitude ultimately. But something's going to be ending, so I feel like there's a need to like embrace this. It's going to feel bittersweet. Anything else, or should we move on to the next deck? They're telling me move on, so that means we're just going to do a couple cards from each of these decks, moving on to the animal apothecary deck. Just one card from this deck is what I'm hearing. One card for Aries. Okay. Unknown gift. You have an unknown gift. Okay, so with the casket, someone going out of your life, or the end of a situation, I was also thinking of it potentially being like a career path, like you leaving a certain field or a job and you pursuing a different path, or you finally being recognized for what you actually want to do, or finally, you know, someone bets on you or gives you that shot. And so there could be an unknown gift where you're actually getting the chance to maybe step into a leadership position, or step into the limelight in some way. And it does feel like your words, or how you speak, what you say, or it could be advice that you give. You could be a musician, you could be a songwriter. There's a lot of different ways that this could be interpreted, like a songbird, for instance. But it also makes me think of a messenger, someone who's meant to communicate with other people, and that information is supposed to, what's the word? Reach like the masses, you know what I mean? And also I'm hearing like translate, so you could teach something or translate something. It could be a language, or it could be a study like astrology. That's also what I'm hearing for you, Aries. So you have an unknown gift, and I think that this opportunity where you're, you know, going to be asked to step up, or you're going to be given a chance to step up, is going to show you that, and you're going to be like, holy shit, like I'm so good at this, or I didn't even realize I was capable of this. And so yeah, you could even be nervous. You could feel like things aren't working out right now, or you could be worried of like the unknown, you know what I mean? Not sure what to expect. But I think if you are willing to like lean into trying new things and being experimental, that's gonna really pay off for you. And I heard like going out on a branch, or like on a cliff, like I don't know like that analogy, but like them just out on a branch by themselves singing, it makes me think of also like um having to step out on your own, or having to um like take that leap, you know what I mean? So that's for you, Aries. The next card I was pulling from my runes, I think it's the Runes for Modern Life deck, it's what this is called, and one card fell out there as well. So I think that's the structure we're going to go with, is maybe a couple cards from the tea leaf, and then one card from every other deck for support and context. So this rune is Perthro, and it I don't want to grab the book right now. I'm not going to front and act like I'm super, super knowledgeable about the runes, but I love this deck because of the imagery and the context. So with Spirit starting out this live, or like calling me to do this live by saying that the devil's in the details, it feels like I'm being called to look at the context of the cards, the imagery in the cards, the details of the cards, and not read so much into like the actual description, you know? And so what I'm seeing here is stillness. That's the first thing that I'm seeing. But this volcano in the back shows that there's a lot lying dormant underneath that. So it could be that you're either not expressing something, and it needs to like come out and come, you know, out of you, or that you're needing to kind of like embrace this stillness in order to connect, in order to get clear about something that has been buried within you, that you do need to let be released, you know. And again, with this full moon in Aries, it does feel like it has to do with initiative. So although this card feels like stillness, to me, the volcano in the back and the fact that the volcano is red, not saying this volcano is about to erupt over the whole city, but it does show that almost like unsuspected or underestimated energy or passion that someone could have within them. And when it's released, people are like, holy shit, like I didn't know that that person had all of that, whether it was rage or anger or creativity or whatever it may be. But it does feel like there's something that you need to express and release. And maybe you've been trying to be more reserved about it. You know, maybe you've actually been holding back or trying to, with me even thinking of Libra season, you could be trying to like stay composed. You may not want to like come off a certain way, or react a certain way, or have people see you a certain way, but it feels like you're being called to be a little bit more. I don't know why I just heard the word feral. That's like weird. It's interesting. But yeah, even with like the someone going out of your life or the end of a situation, the casket card, you know, like those analogies where people are like, I had to kill that version of me, or I had to kill that person so I could become this person. Like that's kind of what I'm hearing. And so the someone going out of your life could literally be like another version of yourself dying off, because fall is all about like with the casket, it makes me think of like snakes shedding their skin or leaves falling or something like that, like the cycles. And so it definitely feels like something's ending, and for you to initiate something new or finally step into like a more authentic energy or a more expressive energy, and then that's going to come with its own rewards. So I want to know how that is going to impact you ultimately, or who is going to be involved in that. Let's see, what do you have? Mature man. A mature man is going to be involved. This person could be well traveled. This is the card. They could have gray hair. They could be well dressed, though. They could come across as very sophisticated, or they could be well educated. It's giving like Sagittarius, Capricorn, or Aquarius energy. So there could be like an older Aquarius male, or not just Aquarius, but like I said, Sagittarius, Capricorn, or just mature intellectual male that comes into your life and influences you in some way. It could end up being a mentor or a teacher. It could be someone who gives you the opportunity to travel for work or for some kind of opportunity. It feels like this person is going to help you level up ultimately. Um, it could also be an ancestor who is well traveled, an ancestor who has had a lot of like experience or knowledge, or maybe school or education was important to them. Um, yes, this person you're going to be connecting with. Very interesting. And it feels like this person is relevant. It doesn't feel like that's the person that's leaving your life, just so you know. It feels like this person is actually like coming into your life, or going to be like a presence that's around you this month. So keep that in mind. Like I said, with the basket, it felt like an exchange of resources, energy, information. Someone could be choosing to like invest in you or something like that. Maybe you could have a sugar daddy. for some of you guys, you know what I mean? Like, it does feel like it could be that energy as well, but not for everyone. For others, it just feels like maybe an educator or a mentor or a coach or something like that. Because this person also does feel like they're in this very like meditative, initiated like kind of space where they're learning something, they're a student, they are having to practice, like whether it's moderation, discipline, stillness, awareness. Like I said, that's what you're being called to do right now, and that is what's going to bring in um abundance for you this month and help you to like release any stagnant energy this month, to help you feel more clear-headed, to help you feel more grounded, but to also help you feel like grounded and clear-headed enough to actually take action and actually start to move forward ultimately. So that's going to be for you, Aries. I love that message. Let's move forward to Taurus. I wish that I could do like, as I learn, I'm going to start to, try to have these like transitions and things like that. I know I see other readers having that. And so in the future I could do the timestamps. I'll still do the timestamps so you guys can watch it, but and like efficiently get to your sign. But I am going to get better and like decide how I want to frame the video and all of that good stuff. So hopefully you guys are into this, you know what I mean? Even if no one is in my live, I've seen a couple people come in and come out, and maybe you're like, oh, they're not talking about my sign, or I don't even know what's going on. So we'll see. This is, like I said, an experiment. Okay. So, Taurus. What do you need to hear for October, Taurus? What does Taurus need to hear for October? This is going to be for Taurus. Maybe I should post on socials and be like, now doing Taurus. I don't even know if I can do that on my, let's see, on my iPad. I don't think so. All right. This is going to be for Taurus. Like I said, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, South Node for Taurus, starting with the Tea Leaf Oracle deck. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna post, but we'll see how long this goes as well, because we're at 17 minutes and that was just for Aries. I feel like I basically spent 15 minutes per sign. So let's see. Tea Leaf Oracle. Where are the other ones? Am I going crazy? Is this all of them? Okay. Okay, for Taurus, fair man. Dealings or a relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. If you have Aries placements, you could be dealing with that same man that they're dealing with. So, if you say you're a Taurus sun with an Aries moon or Aries rising, definitely go back and check out their portion, because they're dealing with a fair man or an older man. It may not be a fair man for them, but in the imagery of the card, it was someone who looked pretty similar to this dude. So definitely feels like you guys are going to be influenced by this person, but this person is stubborn and you need to be aware of dealing with them this month and butting heads with them, and also them potentially trying to like sabotage you or intimidate you or anything like that. You have bull. So after fair man, dealing with this dude, you have bull. Funny enough, it feels like this person is very similar to your energy, Taurus, because this is like your card, the bull. So it says, do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. So it could be two stubborn people or two hard-headed people butting heads. It could be that this person sees that you have a very strong personality, or they can even be intimidated by you, and so they're like overcompensating. So it feels like two energies that are actually more alike than different, and so those energies are clashing. But it's almost like you giving this person a taste of their own medicine and showing them that you are not going to back down, that you're just as stubborn or persistent as them, and that this is also a test for you as well. it does feel like it's also a test on how to handle things, how to like stand your ground in like a graceful way as well. Maybe how to be like in a respectable way. That's kind of what I'm hearing. Because you have broken wishbone. Wish will not be granted. So something that isn't going to go your way this month. And it feels like it's for the best. It feels like it's protection. So you could be frustrated with this person, this situation, dealing with this person. You are being told to, show strength and fortitude in the sense of, pushing forward and keep trying and don't give up with this wish that won't be granted. It's not that, it feels like this could be regarding something you really want, maybe a career path or a goal you have or something, and it's not working out. And maybe you're trying to achieve that goal or receive that thing in one way, specific way, and the wish will not be granted because of that. So you're being shown to try another way, to be resourceful in that way. So with this bull card, the persistence is about not backing down, showing strength and fortitude. That also makes me think of, thinking of like being resourceful in the sense of like, okay, what other resources do I have? What other avenues can I take? You know what I mean? And so that is definitely a big focus for you guys this month, Taurus, is maybe trying to get out of your typical frame of thinking and shift your perspective as well, especially as it pertains to this fair man. I also just heard like if it's not like a specific person, like it says blonde, gray, or white haired man, or a man with fair complexion, it could be like the white man for some of you. So if some of you have resonated with feeling frustrated about like the government or corporate or this or that, you know what I mean? Like I'm also hearing that. It could even be like a boss you have or something like that. And so just keep that in mind. But it feels like you're supposed to like fight for something. It could be your freedom, like your financial freedom, or say you want to like live a life that feels more authentic to you, or you don't want to work this 9 to 5, or like that's kind of what I'm sensing. You need to fight for that life that you want. And so the next card is finger. You guys got multiple cards here. You were only supposed to get a couple, but as I was shuffling, more came out, so I'm just speaking on them. Finger says, warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. So, like I said, you're being warned of something. You're being like, um, told like beware that this could happen or this could be an outcome if you were to keep going in that direction. So something not working out isn't telling you to force the thing. It's telling you, yes, keep going in regards to whatever goal you have, but try to reach that goal in other ways, if that makes sense. Because if you keep trying to go down this specific route, you're going to end up sabotaging yourself, or someone else is going to end up sabotaging you. And so just be very mindful of that, Taurus. Like, be stubborn, but be like smart about it. You know what I mean? Don't keep like beating a dead horse kind of thing. That's what I'm getting for you guys. So let's do animal apothecary next. You already got the bull, so let's see what other. And now you have the fox. Okay, so with that, just because foxes are so sly and cunning, and then this bull, I'm hearing kind of like bullshit. So like, or like fake it till you make it kind of energy. So that could also be the persistence or the like trying a different route kind of thing. So interesting. Even with me saying like you could be frustrated with like capitalism or corporations or the government or the white man or whatever, the man in general, like with this fair man card, the fairness, Libra season, like that whole, just the idea, Trump, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it's giving. And so it makes me think of almost like playing the system to your advantage, you know what I mean? And so for you guys, this does really feel heavily like financial and very much about the life that you're trying to build for yourself, the sense of freedom that you want to cultivate for yourself. I'm hearing for your kids, for your family as well. What you want to be able to provide, maybe broken like promises that have already been made, from the government, from like, people who you were supposed to be able to rely on from work or things like that. And so it feels like you're needing to take another route and realize you can't rely on these people or these things. And there's a need because they're bullshitting. You know what I mean? Like, this is bullshit. That's what I'm hearing. Like with the bull and the fox, someone's sneaky, someone's like persistently sly, if that makes sense. And so you have to play their game and match their energy and be smart about it, if that makes sense, and be strategic and find a way to like get around it and like play the game to your own advantage. So that's interesting. All right, because also this card says that you're almost there, so it just feels like you have one more, like there's one more hump, or like you're like almost there, but you just have to like think outside the box or just be a little bit more sly right now. And that's to get ahead, because this card is 44, so that's in order for you to gain more stability and structure and to like have certain advantages or gain certain assets and things like that, Taurus. So all right, next card is going to come from the Runes for Modern Life deck. That was very fast. I'm hearing Lotto say it's in you, not on you. And I love this card because it is like exactly that. It's this person who's like transforming. You could see their hair, they cut their hair and they dyed their hair. But this card with the mirror involved and the reflection is a reminder that it is, you know, who are you? It's not just how you look. That is an extension of who you are. And it can definitely give people an idea of who you are. But that's why Lotto, she said it on Rhythm and Flow season 2. She would say it a lot, and she would always say like it's in you, not on you, because you know these rappers, they had swag and they would dress a certain way and act a certain way, but she's like, at the end of the day, it's like who you are, like it's your innate swag. It's not like how you're dressed or anything like that. And so that's what I'm seeing for you as well. You have like innate gifts, talent, swag, energy, aura, you know, that people want to like gravitate towards, but that also can attract leeches, or like I said, sneaky energies, people who are persistently sly, like I said, people who are trying to get from you or take from you or see what they can take from you. And so even with this like transformation, I'm hearing the switch up, the pivot, like I'm hearing you like always being one step ahead of people. You like, just when people think that they've caught on to what you're doing, you're rebranding or you're shifting the perspective or shifting the narrative. I love this energy for you, Taurus. This is actually fire. Like, this is really good energy. So one more card for you, because I feel like I don't need to even keep going with that. But I also am hearing like, I heard this for Geminis. When was I channeling those messages? I don't even remember, last week or something. I think I was channeling messages for Libra season. Was it? Or the eclipse? The eclipse messages? Yeah, you got great fortune, dude. Look at that. Taurus. Love that. But I think I was just hearing the song again. I was channeling it for Gemini, but now I'm channeling it for you. That song, Show 'em What You Got, Lil Mama. Show 'em What You Got, Lil Lady. That Jay-Z song. Show 'em what you got, shawty. Show 'em what you got, baby. Hands up, now wave. Now wave, whatever he's saying. That song, it feels like you are going to get recognition for something, and you're going to start showing people like the type of time you're on, the type of energy you're on. And this great fortune shows like definitely abundance coming through, despite the frustration and the stagnancy and the like obstacles you faced, and the you feeling like maybe your blessings have been blocked from third parties or external factors, that you've been trying to do the best you can, that you've been trying to, you know, be resourceful and think of all these different ways of getting to your goals. And um yeah, you have what it takes. You're gonna get there, because like you already, like, you, it's not even that you need to try to be one step ahead. It's like you already are. I'm hearing like ahead of the curve in the sense of like trends and things like that. So that makes sense. You're Venetian, you know what I mean? It's Libra season as well. So I think it's like saying like, especially with you guys, you're like the material side, the possession side of Venus. And so I do think this is also like showing people a lifestyle, a way of living, a way of being, or a way of like carrying yourself, a way of investing in yourself, investing in things. And you know, like I think of with me mentioning capitalism and corporations and things like that. um yeah, it's like you're setting the tone. and being an example to other people, or you could even be starting your own sustainable business, or you could be coming up with some kind of resource that almost like counteracts what the kind of effects you've been receiving from the thing that's been frustrating you, or that's been persistently sly against you, or you know what I mean. It feels like you're finding a way to like cheat the system or hack the system, or and it's going to bring money into your life, or abundance of some kind into your life, or an opportunity of some kind. There will be problems, but it's like you're going to be able to resolve those problems, and that resolution is going to lead to success. I love this for you, Taurus. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to Gemini now. This is going to be for Gemini. I don't know why. I think I don't have space on all of my apps because they're not letting me load up like Twitter and Instagram on my iPad. I wanted to post, but I'm just like, maybe I can just go here and see. La 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 la. All right. Let me try to do this. All right. I am just posting, so I don't know what that does. I'm not too familiar with YouTube, so I don't know if I can still talk while I'm out of the window or not. But if not, and it paused, I'm just posting something real quick. All right, let's see if some other people join. This is going to be for Gemini. We just finished Taurus. If you are just getting here, and you stay, I would love that. People keep hopping in and out, and I just spontaneously felt called to do this, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, if you do stay, just know that I'll be posting this so you can see the other signs if you missed the other signs. But the first deck that we're starting with is Tea Leaf Oracle, and I'm just going to pull a couple cards from there. If you didn't read the description or haven't been hearing me yap, I've said that Spirit started this out by saying that the devil is in the details. So a lot of these decks that I was called to use have a lot of like imagery and details in them. There's a lot of cards that came out for you, Gemini. Interesting. Okay. So the first card that I saw was, I'll do it in this order because I'm like, my eyes just gravitate toward all of them. Doing something risky, taking a chance. It's the Tiger card. And I just heard like show your stripes. What is that? Why did I just hear Tony the Tiger, but I can't think of what the song is? Something great. What is that song? Frosted Flakes is more than good. We're great. No, but like, why did I hear that? Tony the Tiger. Does he say something motivational? I don't know. But anywho, it could even just be regarding like needing to take care of yourself, but also doing something So, okay, too much, Spirit. Calm down. Doing something risky, taking a chance. You also got be careful, do not take risks. These are the two cards that stood out to me right away. So there's a need for moderation. You are definitely needing to do something and push yourself out there and, challenge yourself, but you also need to like take care of yourself and make sure to stay grounded while you do that so that things don't get crazy. And so with the like Frosted Flakes, they're more than good, they're great. I'm thinking of like how cereal companies would lie and tell us that cereal's good for us and it gives us our healthy fiber and all this shit. Like I'm hearing like the need for like that kind of like stability in your life and eating a healthy diet and these understanding the things that are going to contribute to instability in your life, especially like I'm hearing mentally for you guys, Gemini, like keeping you grounded in that sense, because it feels like you are going to be, I'm hearing like responsibility, you have career here. And I feel this desk, this like empty desk, this new desk, it makes me feel like you guys could be starting a new job. You could be getting a promotion, like your own office or like your own desk. You could even be like starting a career, like you could have finished school and now you're finally starting a career that's in that field. And so it's like your big girl or big boy job. That's kind of what I'm hearing as well, with like do something risky, take a chance. You're definitely like putting yourself out there, and I love that for you guys this month. And so you're going to be like seeing a lot of changes this month because you have chain of events that will affect your life. This chain for some reason seems a little bit chaotic for some reason to me. Like the energy of this card, it doesn't feel peaceful or like liberation. It feels like it's gonna feel like heavy a little bit. And so, chain of events that will affect your life, I don't think this month is gonna be negative per se. I think it's gonna be intense. And so, keep that in mind. And that's why I think that you're being called to like take care of yourself and think of the things that you need to stay grounded. July is gonna be important as well. So, next July, something is happening. So that is how many months from now? We're in September, like 9 months, almost 10. And so definitely think about what you could be doing to implement structure in your life over these next 10 months, or where do I want to be 10 months from now. That's interesting. I'm going to move on so we can get more context because all of your cards were very all over the place. But let's do the animal apothecary. Maybe we'll get another tiger. Animal apothecary for Gemini. Let's see. Animal apothecary for Gemini. Self, worth, love, value, respect. So yeah, it feels like you're going to definitely be challenged when it comes to your self-worth this month, maybe with this responsibility or this new career or this new opportunity or this promotion or the responsibility. Because with the doing something risky, taking a chance, it almost feels like that energy of like my back's against the wall, like it's now or never. Like I like, it's like when you actually have something to lose. Ultimately, that's what I feel about your energy right now. And so it could come with a lot of pressure. It could come with a lot of like self-criticism and things like that. So you want to be careful, Gemini, of being too hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Especially because I feel like a lot of things are going to be changing for you. And a lot of things are going to be ending for you. I do think you're also going to be getting a clearer sense of like where you stand in the world and what you want. You could be like disconnecting from certain people or distancing yourself from people. And so it just makes me think you're really going to have to rely on your own like sense of self and your own like self judge, like not judgment, but like your self judgment, but like your own judgment, your own instincts this month. Because I feel like because you're going to be like, it's interesting because it says be careful, do not take risks, but then do something, take risks. It feels like you're going to be like pushing the bar this month, and that could intimidate some people, that could offend some people. It could mean that some people like start distancing themselves from you or vice versa. And so it feels like respect, or to be, like for people to kind of understand what you're trying to accomplish. And so that could feel tired, or that could feel um yeah, just lonely, Gemini, this month. So just keep that in mind. But the bag is going to be right. That's the one thing. Like you're standing on these coins, but there's a need to remember these things. And also, like when it comes to the money, don't get lost in the money. So like be careful, do not take risks. That could be don't take financial risks. There's a need to be like more conservative or mindful right now. Like I said, over these next 10 months, where do you want to be in 10 months from now? Maybe create a budget or create some structure in your life to only spend this much or put away this much, so in 10 months you have whatever it is that you need or that you've been wanting to invest in, because that also feels like it is pertaining to your self-worth. There's an 1111 here, so it shows that there is something you want to like start or initiate or try. Like, we're in a cardinal season, we're in Libra season, it's the beginning of fall, so this is going to come, a lot of the themes are going to be about what you need to release, but then all the details, the devil's in the details that you need to be aware of, that are going to help you like move forward as well, and to like build something new. And so this 1111, it shows that this self-worth, self-love, self-value, self-respect is needed in order for you to like maintain your stability and maintain your success, and for you to successfully take risks and all of these things, and to know how to, you know, practice moderation, and to continue to excel in your career, and to continue to get new opportunities. The self-love and all of that is required in order to maintain. So let's move forward and get a card from the, oh, what did I want to say? I started rambling, but the, with the self-love card, that's required to maintain these things, but it's also required to maintain like a level head, because it does feel like you're going to be making more money. So you don't want to start overspending or start losing sight of the goal or like your intention, because it does feel like you're going to start to be able to stack. And like this pig feels like it's about avoiding greed, you know what I mean? Avoiding like gluttony or overindulgence, and even what's that called with the stack of coins and then he's like sitting on it? It's not like hoarding, like that's not what I'm trying to say. It is like hoarding your wealth, or like being cheap, like not being generous, like a lack of generosity. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word for that. Very interesting. Okay, so what I'm getting for you, Gemini, because I think what's happening, I'm hearing it, and I used to say this all the time, is, you know, that whole like term fuck you money, or like not, what's the word I'm trying to, like, the concept of fuck you money is being able to have enough money that you don't have to rely on other people, that you don't have to, if you're stuck in a situation where people are taking advantage of you or trying to tell you to do something you don't want to do, you can say fuck you, I got the resources to do what I need to do and go off on my own. It feels like you're trying to get to that point, but people are trying to sabotage you. And I don't know like what that might look like, because it looks like it's different for everyone, because how it's coming up here in this card is this person's in this tent, right? They pitched this tent for themselves. They've been working on their stability. They're trying to get to this place. And there's all these snakes around them, watching them, keeping tabs on them, trying to get into their tent, trying to infiltrate the situation. And this person is at the edge of the tent, trying to protect themselves and stay aware of what's going on, you know? And so this person is shining light. This person's aware. They're intuitive. They're in tune with this negative energy, and not in tune with it, but like aware that it's there, but they're constantly on edge because of it. You need more support. That's what this also feels like. Like you could get lost in that like sense of, oh, I'm just going to keep making money, or I just need some more fuck you money, or, you know, like I'm just going to keep stacking, and start losing sight of like what you actually want to do, because you, or like what you actually need. So say it's community, or you know, like want to, like, I'm trying to think of like an example, like an actual example. Like you have always wanted to give back to other people, but then as soon as you start making a bunch of money, you don't give back to anyone, and you're just like, oh no, like it starts to feed into that scarcity mindset, and now you have to save everything and you can't spend a dime. And it's like, find like practice moderation in that sense, where it's like do something risky, take a chance. So like, yes, you do need to invest and you do need to spend money to a degree, but you don't want to overspend, and you don't want to be cheap either, you know what I mean? So that's interesting. It's definitely about finding a balance. And it's about, it feels like it's about like subconscious programming or conditioning due to your environment, due to like a lack of support or the people around you, and like you being in survival mode, or you being in fight or flight mode. And like this chain of events will affect your life. It does feel like this is like, you know, this cycle or this chapter of your life is trying to, you know, be ended or broken, so that you can start fresh. But it feels intense for you, like it's coming with a lot of like paradigm shifts, and like things being dismantled, and like true colors being revealed and things like that. And so this month, it does feel like you will have to heavily rely on self-love, Gemini. But also try to start to like think of who you can lean on, the type of people you can lean on, or again, like the structure that you can create in your life. So support systems, they don't always have to be people, they can be actual systems. So with me, it's funny because the Tony and the Tiger, what is it? Frosted Flakes are more than good, they're great. When I was trying to channel that song, I kept hearing also, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. And I don't know why, because I keep hearing it. I don't even drink coffee. I'm a Gemini. And I'm just thinking that it has to do with like your morning routine or how you start your day. You know what I mean? Like with the breakfast references for some reason. So think about that, how you can start creating support systems. And maybe if you don't feel like you can rely on people right now, and you're actually being called to rely on yourself, or maybe you're the one who's being relied on. You're the one that all these eyes are on you, all these people are preying on your energy, or, trying to siphon your energy. That's how it could feel. So there is definitely a need to, it feels like there's a need to be conservative with your time and your energy, in the sense of like not giving it out too much. You know what I mean? Not telling a bunch of people your ideas or what you have going on, kind of thing. And then being able to discern who you can trust over time. All right, one more card. What or who is affecting all of this, Spirit? Did that already flip out? Let's see. Yep. Oh gosh, family room. So for some of you, many of you, it will be family. So you could feel that energy coming from family. It could be that maybe you're making certain things happen for yourself, and maybe they're like keeping tabs on that, your growth or your finances or this or that. So yeah, it does really feel like there, it could even be that maybe you want to impress your family, or not impress them, but you want them to be proud of you. You want them to like see all the hard work you've done, or see how, oh, see my risk paid off, or something like that is what I'm seeing. But it feels like they're either like they can't be happy for you, or they're just not, or and so you're going to have to cultivate that sense of pride and like celebrate yourself, from yourself. So, that's unfortunate, but let me see what else I'm channeling, if anything. That felt just very straightforward. The cards, there's women in the cards, so it could specifically be the women in your family. There's tea. So there could be gossip about you as well. People could have like opinions about you, or not. It could even be that they don't like how you're living your life, or they don't like how you're approaching your life. They don't respect the risks that you're taking. They don't, see the value in the things that you're trying to do. And so, yeah, that makes sense. There's definitely like speculation, gossip, or concern, in the sense of like, what are you doing, with your life or with your time or whatever. But it's like, it's going to be paying off for you this month. So people could either be like jealous or shocked or envious, or like eating their words, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Good for you, Gemini, but it's unfortunate that has to be the energy that's surrounding you. But it makes sense that that is why you're being told to derive that self-love from yourself at this time, or that love from yourself, that support from yourself at this time. But that's why I feel like this month is going to feel intense, because you're going to be feeling alone at times, or you're going to be feeling like, I have all these things going on and I wish I had people rooting for me, or I wish I had someone to clap for me or whatever. And that's not the case. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to move on to Cancer now. Let's do Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and South Node for Cancers. Thank you for the like. 2 people are watching. Okay, I'm going to drink some water, and then we're going to do Cancers. That feels that tracks, right? Water. Okay. Cancer, what do you need to hear for October? What's going on for you for October? For Cancer. Okay. Let's see. We're rhyming over here. We're rapping. Cat, bat, rat, No, just cat and rat. You got cat, a two-faced friend. Is this person also a rat? I think so. Someone working against you or behind your back. Cancer. Not a good energy. You can't trust everyone this month. That's the first thing that you should know. This other card you have is heartache over what you no longer have. I always think it's interesting that the energies kind of bounce off of each other. So I just talked about how Gemini could be dealing with, you know, a lack of support or feeling let down by family or, their loved ones. And then you get this energy, Cancer. And so you could also be dealing with that, especially if you have Gemini placements. But the rat card saying someone working against you behind your back shows that this is someone you aren't aware is trying to work against you. So it is likely a friend. It is likely someone who's trying to make themselves out to be a friend. It could be a coworker or a boss or like another competitor. It's kind of giving sixth house energy, so it does feel like how sixth house is all about like your open enemies, the people who are trying to like kind of fight against you and one up you and things like that. It feels like someone who's in competition with you secretly. And so it's like keeping your enemies closer, them trying to keep tabs on you, and then ultimately like betraying you or stabbing you in the back. I don't know if that's already happened. You could suspect this person. You could like wonder, like, should I trust that person? Or like their vibe is off lately. Like, and if you feel that way, you should trust it. Hi, who is that? I'm trying to see who your picture is so small. Hi, babe. But let's see. With spear, like trust your gut because this is literally like a gut. It's the heart. So it's a heart, not gut. I guess your gut would be your stomach. But it just makes me feel like I feel like this is like the need to trust that. And because otherwise I'm hearing gutted. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be gutted. Like you don't play dumb or like don't ignore certain, signs and things like that. So yeah, be honest with yourself about what you're feeling if you're feeling off about a person or if someone say they've been like not around, they've kind of been like missing in action or they haven't been there for you as much and things like that. So let's move forward. I don't like that. I don't want the beginning of your reading, Cancer, to be about something like this. So let's see how we can turn this month around. Didn't flip out completely, so okay. Immense growth, and that's a vulture card, and then better than you can imagine. So that's good. It makes me think of like how good can it get? You know what I mean? So it shows that like this rat cat person is an irrelevant motherfucker. And although you may feel disappointed or let down by them or gutted by like this realization that they're not a real friend, that they actually have been just plotting the whole time, you're gonna rise above it with this immense growth card, and it's helping you to see like a different point of view, and it's also helping you to like see people clearly. Like I think it's going to help you realize like, oh, people can be this way, like people can, you know what I mean, like let me like be a little wiser or a little bit more aware. And also like it feels like it's about self-protection with this vulture card. People can be vultures, but so it's about you being able to protect yourself ultimately. Yeah, and like not be left for dead. I feel like this is people who would leave you like hanging, or they would like not have your back when it really came down to it. So it feels like you really need to think about who you're keeping around you, who you're investing in, who you're keeping close. Um and who's like preying on your energy right now. It could even just simply be your energy, your essence, your aura. I said that to who earlier? Taurus. So if you have Taurus placements, go back. Once I post this, go back and obviously watch their reading. But Cancer, it feels like someone is trying to ultimately prey on you or like preying on your downfall, trying to wait for a moment of weakness or like for them to like, attack or almost kind of like get what's the word, like ease their way in or like slip in. Like I'm seeing like an energy like that for some reason. So just be careful of someone trying to um manipulate your weaknesses or like clock your weaknesses ultimately to use them as their advantage. But then better than you can imagine feels like something is going to be birthed throughout all of this, despite this person's efforts. So this person's very much trying to like get you down or get in your head or like play you or take advantage of you. They may even think you're naive. They may even think like you don't see this and they're so smart. Like with the cat, vulture, rat energy, like all of these animals are pretty intelligent. And so I feel like this person thinks, oh, I'm so strategic, I'm so smart. But they don't realize like you're intuitive and you're going to be protected because you have these guides around you and you have, like you're a divine protection around you. Like that's really what I'm feeling. So all these efforts, it's not working. The like energy is shifting in your favor. And so this person kind of is going to end up looking like a fool. But better than you can imagine, things are working out for you. And you're, like I said, elevating above all of this. And I do feel like you're um, being rebirthed into something else. The baby makes me think of inner child healing. It makes me think of like starting new, starting over, starting fresh, rediscovering yourself as well. Like I said, gaining a new sense of perspective. So let's move on. What's next, Spirit? With the context of the Modern Runes Oracle deck. What is this little like number 1? That's what I have to learn about YouTube. I like don't know what these little symbols mean. Okay, you guys got the same card as Taurus, and then you got another card. Why are you guys getting multiple cards for everything? Okay, so you have Iwas and Tiwas. Very interesting. I just realized that these are very similar. Like, I actually need to go look into. I told someone else earlier, I was like, I'm not gonna front. Like, I know exactly everything about all of the runes. I was called to this deck because of the detail and the imagery. And so I'm going to break that down for you guys. But the Iwas and Tiwas makes me want to study the language a little bit more because it obviously has the same ending and might be connected in a way. But anywho, for sake of time, you guys got this card that Taurus also got. And this is very much about like self-identity. What I channeled for them was "It's in you, not on you" from Lotto, season 2 of Rhythm and Flow. She would say that a lot to the contestants. And so I was basically saying this is about like, how you want to represent yourself. And that's in regards to like setting the tone and like what you invest in and where you shop and what you entertain and all of those things. That feels important. But it also for you feels like it's about who you entertain and who you surround yourself by, and understanding that you are only as good as the people you surround yourself by. And so that's very, very, very important right now, Cancer. Like you are, how they say like you are the 5 people you spend your most time with or whatever. So it's like these 2 cards are saying that message to me right now. And so in order for you to elevate, in order for you to also elevate your friendships, so it goes both ways. In order for you to elevate, you need people. In order for you to elevate your like relationships and find those people, you need to elevate how you're approaching your life right now. And so that means eliminating certain things, taking away. This person has cut their hair, but they also dyed it. So it's very much alchemy. It's like they cut their hair, but then they transformed it in some way. So what can you take away to ultimately then refresh it or reform it? And I said that in my recent video that I posted about Libra season and October 1st and the tree analogy and all of that. So definitely read that because that's what I'm sensing for you guys, Cancer. With this card, with the cutting the hair, it's like transformation in many ways. It's letting go, but it's also adding something as well. And so that's beautiful. It's a beautiful energy. I think there's a lot of purging energy that is coming, purging, but birthing energy as well, So, like I said, for Gemini, that's where I feel like you guys' reading connects. It feels like it's going to be an intense month for you. Okay. This is the Kipper deck. Why can't I think? I was like, why can't I think of what this deck's called? Privileged Lady. Okay. I don't know who this is. So for some of you, you're being encouraged to utilize your privilege. For others of you, this isn't you, and this is someone that is like in your life. But this person, I'm seeing so many different analogies or like ways to interpret the energy. Some of you, you are the privileged lady and you need to recognize it and take advantage of it, and like also like elevate your relationship, stop like associating with certain people. And this isn't to be pretentious or because you think you're better than someone, but it's because you're like only diminishing your own quality when you continue to lower your standards or like surround yourself by certain types of energies, period, you know? And so that's the one thing I'm seeing for you guys. For others of you, it does feel like you are attracting, like maybe you didn't come from much. You don't have, you know, many connections or resources or whatever, but for some reason you like attract certain people, or you find that like maybe you have like a random celebrity friend, or you have someone you know like that's well connected. It feels like that kind of energy is being drawn to you, and you're supposed, like with this again, this reinvention type card, and then these three people, it feels like you have the ability to like level up, because remember you got this immense growth card. So the same way I told Gemini, like people could be like envious of them or like see that they've been finally like breaking through and growing, and then people are like, oh, who do they think they are, kind of thing. That's what I'm sensing for you guys as well. So you could end up, you're not the privileged lady right now, but you may need to like utilize your connections better, Cancer, to become privileged or to get out of your financial situation or to level up, you know, your lifestyle and your quality of life, and all of that is what I'm sensing. And find the people who can help get you there and who can teach you and give you a different perspective, with all of this, like the mountainous energy and the biking, you know what I mean? That's like a, like it's an effort to try to go up a hill like that on a bike. And so these people obviously are going to be pushing you. There's resistance, so like people who can help you to keep going against that resistance. There's cold weather, you know what I mean, against these like harsher elements, and also get you out of the harsher elements. This makes me think of biking, instead of like, they're obviously in tracksuits, so they're training for something, but it does make me think of like, you could easily drive up this if you wanted, but they're biking up it. So they're training for something. They're training to, you know, be more resilient or be able to handle these conditions. And so it feels like you have already, it's about getting out of survival mode and ultimately like establishing more. What I'm hearing for you is like now training your mind and your body, because we also like for survival mode isn't just a mental thing, it's a physical thing. It's a what we're eating and how our body's responding to certain things and what we're used to and the addictions that we have to certain things because it's all we could eat, and there's so many things that goes into it. And so it feels like it's about you training your mind and your body to recognize this level up and recognize what you deserve and recognize that you're alchemizing and you're changing, and we're going over here now. We don't exist that way anymore, you know? So that's beautiful, Cancer. That's what I think that this privileged lady card is actually saying. um let's see. I think that that's it for you. I'm going to leave it there for October. So I do think this is about releasing scarcity mindset, ridding yourself of these relationships or people who have been keeping you in this mindset, have been keeping you in these mental cycles, that have also been like making you feel alone or unsupported, who have like not even been giving to you in the ways you need, whether it's spiritually, physically, mentally, intellectually, all of these things, you know? And so it does feel like it's up to you to set the tone. What do you need to let go of, release, or distance yourself from, so that you can add to your life at this time, so you can increase, you know, with this privileged lady card. So good energy for you, Cancer. I always hate when a reading starts off like you're not feeling supported or people are trying to come for you or things like that, but I'm like, okay, where's this going? And it's going somewhere positive. So let's do who's after Cancer. Leo. We're gonna do Leo now. I'm gonna drink some more water though. So many people are coming in and out, in and out, and I'm like, I mean, y'all heard like two words. I don't know. But let's see here. Maybe I'll go and pause again and say we're about to start Leo. Leo now. Okay, one second. Let's start Leo now. We're not even halfway. I actually am finally getting tired. So I started all of this because I said I couldn't sleep last night. So I started doing the readings. I just laid in bed all day, and then Spirit was like, maybe you should get up and do some readings. I'm like, maybe I should. I'm going to do client readings later because I do need to catch up on those. If you're watching this like, you bitch, then yes, I'm aware. But yeah, I'm kind of hitting a wall now. I just haven't been able to sleep. My sleep schedule got thrown off a few nights ago for some specific reason, and I have not been able to catch up. But I'm going to go to sleep for a few hours after this. We're doing Leo right now, by the way. I'm stalling to see if anyone wants to join. Leo. Okay. You already got the same card. Who got that? Someone going out of your... Oh. No, we're not doing that. Okay, these ones flipped out. A man going out of your life. But you guys got that card. I can't even think of who got that card a second ago. Was it Aries? Taurus? I don't remember. But Casket. It may have not been either of those signs. But you guys got Casket as the first card. Someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. You also got victory in some endeavor. So this ending is actually going to be a blessing. It's going to be a victory. This is going to have to do with the man. It says dealings or relationship with the man. This man specifically looks Asian, so it could be an Asian man or someone with darker hair, someone with longer hair, someone who wears man buns, someone who looks very smug often, someone who's muscular. I'm just like has very prominent eyebrows. That could be someone that you guys are dealing with this month. But it also does feel like this person could be leaving your life, or you guys could be going into separation, or you could be distancing yourself from this person because you have chair empty as well. So two confirmations that someone's leaving or ending, a relationship is ending. Chair empty, someone leaving your life. This is a throne. So it makes me think of like I just heard like why king. I don't even know why I heard it like that. But it makes me think of someone no longer being seen as like a king, or no longer being seen as like valuable. Not, I won't say valuable, but like commendable, credible, you know what I mean? So I feel like someone losing credibility in your life, and so they may be leaving your life, but I feel like it's because you don't want them there anymore, or because like you guys have come to this place where you just aren't on the same page anymore. But this is a win for you. Like it's a loss for this other person, it feels like, but it's a win for you because you got victory in some endeavor. So I actually love that. And then you have bear, danger, especially in money matters. So I don't really like that it feels connected to whatever this relationship or person is that's leaving your life. So Leo, you guys might need to be careful of a man either trying to take advantage of you. Like I said, if they're losing credibility in your eyes or something like that, it could be because like maybe they are broke, or maybe they aren't responsible financially, or maybe they have some kind of addiction that they, you know, like they're spending money. And so it does feel like you may need to distance yourself from this person. When I think of Bear or The Bear, I think of the show The Bear, how Carmi has like a lot of like toxic habits, and how like he would definitely bring someone down if he dated them, or drag them into his toxic habits in the same way he did with his girlfriend and Sid. And so that's what I heard that analogy, because they also use the analogy of the bear being like this thing, this big thing that you have to attack and that you have to be able to maintain. And so that's what this feels like a person. And then it makes me think of man versus bear. Like, would you rather be alone in a forest with the man or a bear? That energy. It's like this is definitely someone you cannot trust, or that like trying to deal with them is more of a liability, more of a risk. They would leave you like either high and dry or with nothing kind of energy. Like, that's what I'm hearing. If this person is trying to ask for money or resources, do not give it to them or stop giving it to them. Yeah, very intense message that came through. So I'm gonna pull an animal apothecary card to see, uh, you know, what else this is all about, because I want to know where this victory is coming from. Like, I don't know if it's just gonna be a breakthrough and a self, like, in your judgment, you know what I mean, like in making this clear decision to move away from this person or cut this person off. You are what you think and nourish the shadow. So a lot of shadow work is going to be happening this month. Okay, you are what you think. And this is a flamingo. If you think about how the flamingo turns pink because they eat the shrimp, and the whatever chemicals that's in the shrimp causes them to turn pink. And so this is about like you being affected by the energy that you're absorbing around you, the things that you're consuming. I just said that to Cancer just before this, so that feels important for you guys as well, Leo. This is going to be the energy that is affecting you in regards to people as well. This man, your environments, you know what I mean? Because you have nourished the shadow as well. Shadow work is needed to kind of ask yourself why you continue, like, even nourish the shadow. It makes me think of the strength card with this like woman's arm and the bracelets, but then this panther. So it makes me think of the woman in the strength card, like nurturing the beast. It's like that card is about shadow work in a sense. It is about kind of understanding your own like beastly tendencies or like animalistic tendencies, you know. And but this card makes me think of also trying to understand other people's. And so that could be like maybe why you attract certain energies, like darker energies, or people that are in need, or people who have a lot of vices and things like that, because maybe you're trying to alchemize your own like healing. Maybe you're trying to like you see yourself in these people, and so you're trying to empathize with these people, but it feels like you need to like recognize that you owe it to yourself to pour into you and to like do that work on yourself, and not keep pouring into other people. That like, look, you're pouring into this person, but then they already have all this water, and the way that they're lapping it up, like they look like lazy, like they're entitled to it, you know what I mean? And here you are, just you keep pouring it in. Where's your water? You know what I mean? So that's what it makes me think of. And it's also a 33. Three people. Oh, see, this is Leo's reading. It really does make me think of a little bit of the similar themes that Cancer was dealing with, in the sense that like they had the three bikers biking up the mountain together. You have 33 here. 33 is a very communal number. It's about like teamwork, or, you know, community energies coming together to build something. And so it is definitely like a number that is exponential, you know, in spiritual terms. And so I do think this is about you needing to consider like where you're giving your energy, so that it can um continue to grow, you know what I mean, and to continue to expand, especially with this you are what you think as well. What you feed into is going to only expand and manifest. And so it feels like you need to like very much uh get clear about that, and like maybe stop doing certain things. That wasn't a good way to say that, but I'm trying to I'm like, where are my words right now? But yeah, let's do runes for modern life now, and see what it is that how can you approach this in order to maybe make these better decisions, or help get some clarity, or a shift of perspective that's going to help you like have even more of the like breakthrough in regard to, okay, like I really need to embrace this change of behavior or stop doing this. Travel, getting out of your comfort zone, but also like out of where you are. So I don't know who this man is, this man versus bear energy. Like I said, like these people who you feel might feel like they're a liability when you're around them, or they're dangerous, or they're reckless, or they're constantly putting you at risk. You need to distance yourself from them. you need to go off and live your life. You need to go and like travel and get new experiences and meet people in different parts of the world. And with the you are what you think, and how the flamingo eats the shrimp and then turns pink, it's like you traveling the world and collecting these passport stamps and also absorbing these different cultures and learning about these different cultures, and it like kind of painting like this beautiful new canvas of who you are and of all these different facets of who you've become and what you've absorbed. And so that's what you need, Leo, like more life experience. And that shadow work is going to come, and as you pour into yourself and you travel and you know, when I solo traveled and I came back from Italy, oh my gosh, the breakthroughs that I had and like the shift of perspective. And I had my birthday there, so my solar return chart was high, like very different compared to like what it usually is in America. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, this year is going to be different. You know what I mean? Like travel, like astrocartography has gotten so big in these past few years for that reason. Traveling is like a psychological thing, you know? So I think it's important for you guys to maybe try to start, you know, like get your passport if you don't have it. Maybe plan a trip a year from now, or start to look into like the budgeting and the logistics that you would need to make that happen. Because it feels like it's about like you going off on your own and distancing yourself from like the toxic energies, or just like even environments where you don't really feel like it's a safe space, you know what I mean? And going out and seeking that safe space. The chair empty could even be like you finally like walking away from some sense of responsibility to someone else. Like, I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm not going to keep working here or giving all my energy to this thing. Like, I'm giving this responsibility to you. You can sit in the chair and do the work. You know what I mean? That's how it feels. So, let's see. Who else? Like, who is this man? Can we get more context on this man, or also just like other energies that are affecting you at this time? Okay, they're like, no, fuck that man. I love it. So this is the Kipper deck. I love the Kipper deck. It can be very ominous, and it has a lot of like people in it, like occupation, and there's like lots of people, the man, the woman, and the child, and all these things. But they don't want you to focus on other people right now. You have pathway, and you have these butterflies. And I immediately thought of the trip that I really want to take in January, if possible. I don't really think it's going to be possible at this point for me, but to the Oyamel Forest, a very spiritual journey in Mexico where the monarch butterflies end their voyage. Look into it if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But it's that kind of thing that I feel like is going to help you discover yourself and find yourself, and, you know, find these safe places and these people that are going to be like in these safe places. That, like, I follow someone who said, when you start traveling, solo traveling frequently, you start meeting like your soul tribe more than you ever would when you live different places. Because if you think about the like how close that frequency is, where you guys are on that same level because you're in the same place at the same exact time, you were on the same flight or whatever, it's like you're my person, you know what I mean? And so she said that she started to see this phenomenon of like just meeting people who changed her life, and it just all made sense when she started solo traveling more and more. And that's what I'm feeling for you, like the pathway opening up, the light at the end of the tunnel, things starting to get clarified, the details, all like with this whole reading being inspired by the devil in the details, and that being spirit's first, like, the hook, the message. I feel like that's what this is about, you gaining insight and inspiration and clarity through travel, through like, you know, clearing the pathway and allowing yourself to venture away and let go of this responsibility. Like, let this part of you die off that's always trying to like please other people, give to other people, empower other people, and like try to build other people up. Like, I feel like it's about you building yourself up and pouring into yourself right now, Leo. So I love that, to be honest. But yeah, travel's heavy. Get those travel miles, get that travel credit card, whatever you can do to like start to set yourself up to be more of a traveler, and start collecting those passport stamps in the next year, is what I'm hearing, by like next summer even. Okay, Leo, Virgo. We're doing Virgo now. I don't know who's sticking with me, if it's the same person or if they keep leaving, but I appreciate you. Because there's been one person that's been in here for quite a long time. I don't even know if I can check. Let's see. Yeah, I don't feel like I can see who it is. I don't know if it is this person still, Sab. but you're awesome, whoever you are. As you guys can see, like I said, I'm just going to jump in. Spirit told me to try it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'd never done a YouTube live before, and I'm like, what are these buttons? So let's see what's up. Virgo, correct? Yes. More water. Maybe I couldn't sleep because I like needed to get this out. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I'm feeling. Because like the more that I do the reading, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go eat after this. I'm gonna shower and I'm gonna go to sleep. Okay. Virgo. Oh, snap. Connected to Cancer. Was that you got the cat card that flew out? Which is crazy because I shuffled these. All right. Cat. And now you have Ram. You could be dealing with an Aries. A two-faced friend. Virgo. Lovely. A stubborn, aggressive person. Could be the same person. It also feels like, I don't know why I just heard you could be one of these people. So you could be being a two-faced friend because you're being stubborn and it's like not intentional, or your friend could be being two-faced because they're stubborn but it's not intentional. Someone could be coming across as aggressive, so maybe like you're being two-faced to that person because you feel like they're being weird but it's not intentional. Two people are just taking something personally and they need to either talk about it or like stop being stubborn, stop being aggressive toward each other, stop being like assuming things or jumping to negative conclusions about what the person's intentions are or what the person's like, why the person's saying this or doing that or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But there's like anger, animosity there for sure, because you now have the lightning card. Control your anger or you will be very sorry. So there's someone in your life who's really pushing your buttons lately. You feel like you cannot trust them or rely on them, or you feel like they don't listen. Like I'm hearing like hard-headed or like they, like ram-headed, basically, like I can never get through to this person. Like there's no point in talking to this person. Interesting. And so it feels like you're basically meant to like just kind of back off rather than like overreact. And I don't even think if it's a back off as much as it's like a take space to maybe collect your feelings and thoughts so that you can address the situation like cool, calm, and collected, because you don't want to overreact. And like I said, this card says two-faced friend, but it doesn't feel like the same energy that I was picking up on with Cancer. It feels more like a misunderstanding. Like someone's not actually two-faced or has poor intentions. They're just like not handling a situation correctly. You guys aren't talking about it. You both could be two-faced toward each other when two friends are going to everybody else and talking about the frustrations they have with the person. You know what I mean? Rather than going to each other. It's that kind of energy. And so you could also be assuming something like, oh, this person just acting like, they disrespected me, or they're this, or like I can't ever talk to them, or they just only concerned with themselves. But you actually aren't realizing that they're like going through something, or that they're, there's a reason that they seem aggressive or stubborn or whatever. And so the lightning in this case also always makes me think of illumination. It is coming through the clouds, so it does feel like a shift in perspective. You getting clarity, and if you can control your anger and you can clarify what you're feeling without overreacting or being ignorant or rude, then I feel like it's going to help, and it's going to help ease the situation and give you that breakthrough that you need ultimately. Yeah, Virgo, it's like we can be that way. I have a Virgo moon, so like I'm listening to this like, what is going on? Because I don't even know. I try to stay neutral until after, and then I'll go back and watch the readings and then let it resonate for me personally. But with this, I feel like Virgos have a tendency to be seen as like the stubborn, aggressive person, or be seen as like the critical friend, or the friend that people can't approach, or who isn't understanding or whatever, or can be angry or like persistent in like what they want from a person. So just be careful of coming across that way. You may need to come across more empathetic at this time, more patient, or like more objective as well, and like not be so concerned with like how you feel and how it's affecting you, but like what is going on for real in this situation. You know what I mean? Think about others, not just yourself. Transformation. Okay, yeah, so you're going through a transformation, this person's going through a transformation. You guys could just be outgrowing each other, to be quite honest. So the energy is shifting and the energy's off right now. Those cards, that did not shuffle properly. Let me shuffle this because those both came out again from Leo's reading, and I don't want that. You got transformation, abundance, and almost there. Who got that earlier? Taurus or someone? I don't remember. But okay, transformation. I don't know who I was telling this to, but I was saying that it felt like someone was being like intentionally sly with them. And so that they needed to like match that person's energy, but this is not that for you guys. So it's interesting because like that sneaky fox energy, you know what I mean? It feels like it's the opposite for you guys, that you need to outgrow this, always being on the defense, always reading into every little thing, always like thinking the worst and feeling like you have to do everything alone. You know what I mean? Like that's actually not what you should be doing right now. And so transformation, it shows like you and this person are both going through a transformation. It feels like you both need to kind of heal and kind of go through your own journey before you can maybe get that perspective that you need to recognize that this person isn't your enemy, or like that what you're reading into the situation isn't really the situation, and that it's just your emotions feeding into the situation. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a need to like rise above it or see it from a different point of view. But as you're elevating and leveling up, it's going to take time, because right now I'm seeing this as like human, like you're seeing things from like a small human point of view, like, you know what I mean? Whereas that is not how spirit wants you to see things. You need to be able to see the bigger picture or see things from both sides, you know? And so there's definitely like a lot of energy that is being like alchemized or transmuted right now. You know what I mean? And I do think even this, look at this like funnel of energy, this person changing. This is the abundance card, but it makes me think of transformation. You know what I mean? And so this is definitely you kind of leveling up. It makes me think, I just heard the ego death as well. So that's what this feels like. You're reaching an ego death. You're going to start to have like a shift in perspective and start to see things a lot more clearly. You're going to start to see where your like frame of mind was limited, where you weren't like seeing things correctly because you were stuck on a certain thing or point of view or whatever. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, interesting. Stability is needed, structure is needed, grounding is needed. So this it feels almost like a dark night of the soul that you're going to be going through. So you could be feeling misunderstood. You could be feeling like you're really having to test yourself to like not always, don't respond the way that you always respond. Don't be defensive. Don't, you know what I mean? Keep resorting to those like coping mechanisms that aren't working anymore. So there is a level of strategy that's needed. There is a level of like self accountability that's needed, that like at times you may feel a little bit alone, or like alone in your circumstances, because it's your job to get out of them, if that makes sense. Like you have to own it. So that makes sense. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. Let's pull the modern runes for modern life deck so we can get more context for you. You guys got, is this Aries? The same card as Aries. You are dealing with an Aries or Aries Saturn. You might have Saturn in Aries. You could be dealing with an actual Aries. Aries season, March could be relevant for you. Like the beginning of springtime could be relevant. But Aries energy is super relevant for you because you got the Ram card earlier, and then you got the card that Aries got earlier. So I told Aries this card makes me think of a stillness, or the moment before a breakthrough, the moment before like a creative breakthrough, or before a release, or before a purging, or before you finally realize what you're trying to like say or do. because there's a volcano in the back, but the volcano is dormant, so it's not active at this time, but it's red, so it makes me think of it, the potential of it activating. And so this does make me think of your potential, what's lying dormant within you, and how can you be still or slow down to connect with that, and to kind of like connect the dots to let this thing come from within you, you know what I mean, and release it outward. And that's what all of this looks like. That's what this feels like, transcending and getting grounded. And then this feels like this little woo vortex and like some magic that's going on so that you can get to this point of this breakthrough. But it definitely feels like stillness, grounding, woosah, you know what I mean, like being able to calm your nervous system, being able to respond differently than how you typically respond, Virgo, because also you guys stress yourselves out a lot, and that's coming from me, a Virgo moon. Like, we do the most, and so I think like stress management is going to be super important. Learning how to like react differently, respond differently to tend to your nervous system, that's going to be key. And like also creating sustainable relationships, creating a sustainable career path, a sustainable life, a more peaceful life, to not feel like you're constantly up and down and your energy is constantly affected by outside people or circumstances, or that you are always reading into how people are treating you, or they did that because of this and this because of that, and you could just live your life, you know what I mean. That feels super important, Virgo. You have to like address that conditioning that's caused you to like feel like you need to read into every little thing, that you always have to be on guard, that you always have to be protecting yourself, or like expecting the worst, or waiting for the other shoe to drop, or waiting for someone to let you down or disappoint you or mess something up, or, you know, for something to go wrong. That anticipation is causing so many distractions in your life, and you're not getting to where you need to be, and you're not like connecting with your goals and your like creativity and like your purpose, because you're distracted by all of this other outside energy. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna do Kipper, one Kipper, and then I'm gonna move on to literally crazy. I'm gonna move on to Libra. It's your season, Libra, so that'll be good. But you got bad health, Virgo. Literally, this energy is contributing to your bad health. Like I just said, y'all be stressing yourselves out. You are gonna like, I don't want to give you guys to have like a stroke at 30 years old because you are stressing yourselves out. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the energy that it's giving. The control your anger, you will be sorry. Like, you know, you gotta like stop letting situations get you so worked up. Stop letting people get you worked up. Stop letting things stress you out so much. Stop dwelling so much. Stop obsessing about, oh, like the things you didn't do, the things you need to do. All of that is really like slowing you down, causing distractions, causing like a lack of movement forward, you know. And because I keep saying we're in a cardinal season, Libra season, Spirit's first initial message was the devil's in the details. So the devil in this situation, he's not good. He's contributing to your bad health, and he's in the details that you keep obsessing about. And so you need to surrender all of that and let it go and be this dude. Maybe you need a support animal, you know, like that. I've actually, as a Virgo moon, been thinking Virgos are associated with pets, by the way. So I say this because pets are going to ground you. You know what I mean? So you got a cat. It says a two-faced friend. Maybe you need an actual cat. You know what I mean? And not rely on a friend. Maybe you need a support animal or something like that right now. That could also, like, you know, a lot of people who have anxiety or anger issues or things like that, they get a support animal. So bad health, you need to address what's contributing to your bad health. And honestly, it's how, like, your mindset, how you think. With this Ram card, like I said, it's anger and like rage that has been suppressed. It is like that energy that's trapped within you that you need to release, like this volcano. So, all right, Virgo, moving on to Libra. I hope that helped. Let's see. Libra. Whoever's in here, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I have been on here like, what, an hour and a half? Wow. All right. Let's see. This is for Libra. Energies for Libra season. for Libra. For October, really. Libra. Axe, forces working against you. You got haters. I literally just heard like hater, like that's interesting. You have haters, but you need to axe them. There was just a video of some guy and it was like, these are my non-negotiables, as like someone who's strict in like relationships and dating. I don't know why I just channeled that. So but he kept saying, you're axed, you're cut, you're what did he keep saying? I can't think of it, but it made me think of that. You're axed. Like, and so that also makes me think of like, maybe you need to come up with your non-negotiables, Libra. That's a really good idea in your season, being associated with relationships and ruled by Venus. What are your non-negotiables? How can you be more strict in your relationships? Because the forces working against you feel like they are people, trying to cut you off from certain things, trying to kind of prevent you from being able to access certain things or even other people. Like say that say you're dating someone or you have a friend who knows someone who could help you get an opportunity or a job, but that person for some reason does not want to introduce you to that person or whatever. They're like, oh, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable, blah blah blah. They're a hater. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of energy, like forces working against you by trying to cut off your potential or cut off your resources or cut off your ability to be visible or seen or recognized for something. Cut you off by like cutting you off with your words. You know what I mean? Like it makes me think of like them trying to like dim your shine, clip your wings. Like they don't want you to move forward. They don't want you to elevate or succeed. I don't like that. April. That could be someone's name for some reason I'm channeling. The card fell over here. Hold on. But also April will be relevant. It could also be a Taurus, this person that you can't trust or the forces working against you. It could be a boss. When I think of Taurus, I say Taurus because like April. But I think of a like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like financial matters. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Taurus, thinking of assets and money and things like that, like financial support. I thought of a boss, like a Taurasian, like what type of people would fall under the Taurus energy, and it would be like a boss or like it could be like an elder, something like that. So the forces working against you, that could be who it is, like someone who's threatened by your growth or independence, someone who is trying to hold you back. It could even be someone that just doesn't want to not be able to like have access to you or rely on you or depend on you. So it's like they're benefiting from you being there, but you're not really benefiting. So they're trying to hold you back. Like it's like a boss who won't promote you because they know that you're going to outshine them eventually, or because they need you to do the grunt work. You know what I mean? And they don't want you to be able to benefit from in the ways that they benefit. Things like that. I don't like that energy. That's terrible. You're being told to say F it and go on a vacation or stop trying so hard. So like with the forces working against you, like let them sabotage themselves. Like basically stop giving to those energies, because I feel like as you stop giving to it, they're going to realize that like the gig is up, you know what I mean? And like you see what they're doing, because it's like when you try to fight with people or try to fight back or try to prove yourself or try to overcompensate or whatever it is, like they win. And so I feel like for you it's about almost playing dumb and ignoring it and just like shifting your energy. Going on a vacation could be trying less. It's not like always a physical vacation. It makes me think of like my last job, when I kept having meetings, speaking to them about my concerns, things like that. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to stop trying. I'm not going to keep killing myself if I have told you all of my concerns and no one else cares. If no one else cares, I don't care. You know what I mean? So that's the energy that I'm channeling for you guys, Libra. And that is like I don't typically give the advice of matching energy, but in this sense, it is a bit of a matching energy. But it's more so like, I don't need to rely on you. So you trying to cut me off or prevent me from certain opportunities, I don't even need those opportunities. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna take a vacation. I'll quit and I'll still do better. You know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. So I'm not saying you have to quit, but it's like you can put in less effort or do something like smarter, not harder, and end up like exceeding this person, or end up like kind of working around, finding a workaround for what they're trying to prevent you from being able to achieve. And so this month is definitely about like kind of taking a step back, not continuing to overcompensate, not continuing to try to prove your worth, not continuing to try to get through to someone or something, but stepping back and recognizing this is also this hammock energy. This card always makes me think of, what is it, Purva Falguni in like Vedic astrology, which is Leo energy. And so it's like they're represented by the hammock, and it's about this like lax energy and like letting the ideas come to you, and like being like indulgent and like indulging in your creativity, and like like I have that placement, and I won't get into it, but I really understand that energy and why they're represented by a hammock. So it's that suspension, you know what I mean, that surrender to your ideas and to your creativity and to the things that just come to us. And it makes me think of this book that I have that I need to finish reading, called The Something of Objectivity. Why Greatness Cannot Be Planned, the myth of the objective, and how it's talking about in the book how like we often plan every little thing in our life, but sometimes it's better to take a step back and like let ourselves be inspired, and that sometimes like those random ideas that we have with when we don't set an objective are our best ideas. I feel like that's the godly shit, you know what I mean? And so for you, I feel like that's where I'm saying you're going to be able to find a workaround. You're going to be able to break through this energy that's trying to block you, by simply stepping back and surrendering to the situation. So that's cool. I like that. Let's pull Animal Apothecary for you, Libra. This also might be a recommendation for you guys to read this book. It is a very fascinating book, and it also ties, these guys like deal with AI and stuff, and so they have a lot of interesting perspectives. I think it's a good book to read in this current like state of the world that we live in. All right. Animal Apothecary for Libra. Animal Apothecary for Libra. It's very much giving Empress, which is funny because I mentioned like you guys' side of Venus and Taurus's reading, and now I'm thinking of like Taurus's energy in your reading, and how you both are ruled by Venus, but Taurus is like more of the representation of Empress. You both can be, but I always think of it as Taurus, and like that material birthing, you know what I mean, that physical abundance. But I also do feel like you Libras have a tendency to have that Empress energy as well, because socially you guys have that poise and that charm that is able to draw in and attract the things that you want. Because you literally, I didn't even see this card before I started saying this, so I was like channeling the Empress for you because I was thinking of that hammock energy, like sitting back, chilling, relaxing like an Empress, and like letting your creativity, like nurturing your creativity that way, like letting things come to you, letting resources come to you, letting people come to you, because you're a bad bitch, you know. But also you got master manifester, so this is the Empress, you know. I love this card right here. So it's like, even with the spider, I learned that like spiders just sit and like observe people's like routines, and like basically understand what we do all day, and so that's how they know how to move around and things. And that is what I'm seeing for you. Forces working against you. It's about stepping back and being like, what is this motherfucker about to do? And then moving around them. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, that was cute, but spirit got me and I don't even need this. Like, so finding, you know, just like not reacting. Reacting by not reacting. Reacting by being one step ahead, because you're really just pouring so much into your own energy that things are working out for you. So like, another example, going back to like me saying that I had frustrations with my job, and I, you know, was like, you know what, I'm going to stop trying. I ended up getting fired, but it was because I stopped trying so much that I got in trouble for it. And one thing, I was like under suspension. It was a whole drawn out process, but I was like right before going to quit anyway. So I had to ultimately accept, like, what was I trying to say with all of this? I don't want to lose my point. That I was not in alignment, you know? And so I had already been applying to other jobs. So what I'm trying to say is I had already surrendered. I already said, I'm not trying. I'm not putting my energy into this. Started to apply to other jobs. And the day that I got suspended from my job, I got a new job. I just got promoted from that to in that job. So it's showing how if you can pivot and you can focus on your own energy and trust in your own energy and your own resources and your own yourself as a resource, then you don't need to worry about the forces working against you, because you're always going to be able to be resourceful enough to work around that or to cultivate the next opportunity, because you're one step ahead, because you're a master manifester and you're an empress and you're in tune with the energy that's in alignment with you. So it's always flowing to you naturally, right? Right. So that's what I'm channeling for you guys. Just using that personal example. I don't even got Libra placements either, so I do my Juno, but nothing like super deep. Small steps, big accomplishments. I felt the need to pull one more of these animal apothecary cards. And so, like I said, this is about like slow and steady wins the race, literally. And other people might be looking at you thinking that they're winning, thinking that their efforts are actually working. And meanwhile, you're making all these small steps that are like exceeding them. They're the hare, you're the tortoise, and they think that they got you. And you come out from around the corner in the cut and they're like, what the fuck, how did they get all the way up there? Because I minded my business, motherfucker. You know, like that's how I feel. I don't know if I can cuss on YouTube. Can I do that, guys? I don't know, but that's how I feel about you guys, Libra. So this is about you guys minding the business that pays you and like pouring into your own energy and like cultivating your own energy toward greatness, while other people are focused on working against you, using their energy to for you while you use your energy for you. So you're winning. They're helping you win. So that's really the vibe. I love it, honestly. That's hilarious. I love it. All right. Modern runes for modern life, Libra. And again, if you're thinking or wondering, this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, South Node, if I didn't say it earlier. Modern runes for Libra. Stillness, so much stillness. This is a card I'm super familiar with in this deck. So I was saying, like, I don't know every rune and I don't always remember every single like meaning. This card is ice. Isa is ice. And so it means stillness. It means to be frozen in time. Obviously, this card is represented by traffic. And so it does make me think of, if you feel like there's certain like delays or obstacles or things have slowed down, if you're even starting to convince yourself that this person's efforts or people's sabotage is working, it's not. You are being slowed down to gain perspective. You are being shown another route. The delays are taking place so that you can get to where you're meant to be exactly when you're supposed to get there. And it's helping you align. All these other people in traffic are the people in your life that are on the same journey as you, who are on the same path as you, who have this share the same timing as you, because you guys also experience all these different delays and reroutes to end up at that place together, you know? So this is very soul tribe. This is like a family card, but together with these two cards, it really makes me feel like you are being redirected or told to, like, you know, pull back, surrender in order to be connected with the people who are like, I'm hearing like tied to your fate, to like your destiny and your ancestral path. So like it might not be family or blood, but it's like people who are supposed to help add to it. So maybe it could be like a partner, like a life partner, someone you're meant to have children with. Maybe it could be like a soul sister, someone that you are meant to build with. Maybe you're supposed to work with the person. That it makes me think of handing things down or exchanging. It could be even culturally, you know, but it does make me think like of building family, which is beautiful. Like you're going to ultimately get everything you needed and wanted and more, everything that this person was trying to prevent you from getting, and trying to stand in your way from, you're going to get them. And I feel like this is all going to be working out by next spring. That's what this April card makes me think of. By next spring, you're going to feel like, wow, I can't believe, like, I thought this wasn't going to work out, or I thought I was powerless in November. I don't know. November could be intense for you too, because I said November. So Scorpio season could even be like another purge, you know what I mean? Or like a opportunity for you to like start. Because right now, this feels like almost like the call to action, or like you're being told that these things are happening. You're being made aware that these things are taking place. By Scorpio season, it feels like the big purge could happen. And it makes me think it's interesting because we're having like the full moon in Aries. So maybe when we have that new moon in Scorpio, that Martian energy that Aries and Scorpio shares, it feels like that's that purging energy. And it's going to help you to like move forward and get ahead and win the race and be the tortoise who's, so poised and calculated that they end up on top. So I love that a lot. I love that a lot. Something is going to help you. Yeah, like I said, someone or something is going to help you, like, even heal certain family dynamics, or help you to maybe heal. Say if you don't have family, if you didn't have your mom around or something growing up, you could meet someone who feels like a mother figure. You could meet someone if you, like, say you lost your sister, or you never had a sister, you're only child, and then you meet someone and you're like, you feel like the sister I never had, or you feel like you remind me of my sister. Say your sister's in another state and you're alone here by yourself, and like that kind of energy where it's like you're gonna find those people, you're gonna feel connected, but these delays are taking place and these redirections are taking place to remove you from the shady motherfuckers who do not want you to win, and push you toward the people who are going to elevate you and help you to like cultivate a life that feels truly authentic. That's what that feels like, Libra. All right. Kipper deck for Libra. Let's just do one card. Kipper deck for Libra. 111 on the time. I love that. Definitely. Judication, but that's beautiful. Fairness. Like I said, everything coming into balance. This person is going to get a judgment call. You're going to get your karma, your good karma. That's what it feels like for you guys. Things are going to work out. It's like you and this person being put in front of the judge, you getting, the payout, and this person being like, but, and it's like, you're corny, you're shady, you did too much. What are you doing? And the judge is looking at this person like, come on, bro. You really thought that was going to work? You know what I mean? And what is it? Judge Mathis and all of them. That's what it makes me think of, like one of those shows. And then the person's just like has the most ridiculous reason why they're asking for, the revenge or the money. And then the person's like, nah, you're not getting that. And then they give the other person money. That's what it feels like. Like this person who's working against you really thinks that they're in the right, really thinks that they deserve what you have, or that you don't deserve what you have, that you deserve this treatment, or you deserve for your blessings to be blocked, that like say you were fired, oh, you deserved it, things like that. But everything is working out for you. Everything's going to work out for you. And this person's going to be like they're going to be the one who gets sabotaged. They're going to be the one that things start not working out for them. And I feel like you're going to see it all balanced. Like the scales are going to be balanced out. Like divine justice is taking place for you, which is really beautiful, Libra. And it's your season. People really should not mess with you, especially close to your season. You guys are exalted in Saturn's exalted in your sign. Like you guys get your justice, and always in due time. And so just know that if you feel like this hasn't been fair, or I've had to like get the short end of the stick, whatever else, please just take a step back. Go take a little vacation, take a few days off, use your PTO, call out, tell some, like, don't answer your phone, tell someone you're not available, whatever you need to do to like pull back and pour into yourself right now, and to also just clarify these like off energies that you feel like you're being affected by. Like do that, because everything's going to sort itself out when you just mind your own business. Everything's gonna sort itself out, and you're gonna like look up one day, you're gonna be like, la la la, minding my own business, I'm over here journaling, and then you're gonna look up and be like, what the hell happened to them? And it's like they got their karma, and meanwhile you look the other way and you're like, oh my god, what is this blessing coming my way? And it's like, yeah baby, you weren't even paying attention, but that's what we wanted. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I hear for you guys. I love that energy for you guys, Libra. So, all right, moving on. Libra, Scorpio. Let's do Scorpio now. Maybe I'll do another little pause. More and more people are coming in and out. I think I'll post that I'm going to do it for Scorpio as well now. And then we will move on. But give me 1 second to just post that I'm about to start Scorpio. Let's do it. Hi guys, I just wanted to post on socials that I was starting Scorpio now. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you are